First of all, I want to thank you all for what you've done to my YouTube channel. The video I did last Friday, I guess it was, that is saying that Friday was an exciting day, and it certainly was, has just exploded. I'm up to close to 15,000 views, and I'm putting on subscribers faster than I ever have, and so I want to thank you. I also wanted to share with you that today you're going to see another video I put out, and that is on real estate. I started this whole channel about real estate, and on November the 11th last year, I switched over to what I know something about, and that is the investment markets. So that's out there. But what I wanted to kind of address today is, I said that, you know, in the last video, what's going to happen Monday, and we're approaching it. And the after hours trading shows that the market's going to be down a little, but not much. I think the S&P is scheduled to be, or the Dow is scheduled to be down 50 points. So that means nobody knows what's going to happen. And I don't know what's going to happen. There's no way you can expect me to know what's going to happen. But what I do know, or let me say what I am relatively certain of, is that there are 4, 5, 6 companies, 7 companies that are going to change the world. And we need them to change the world. We need them because our government is not in, all they can do is print money. And that's evidenced by, we've known that 5G was going to be a major part of 2020, 2021. And yet we don't have a semiconductor manufacturer in the United States who can supply us with the semiconductors that we need for implementing 5G. Huawei is pretty much the leader in it. We allowed that to go into China, and now we're telling everybody don't buy from Huawei because the fact is that we don't know where the signal's going when it comes out of our 5G Internet of Everything. And so Trump is actually holding the president of Huawei's daughter in Canada to extradite her to the United States to try her because Huawei broke the sanctions that we had against Iran. So it's complicated. And then basically Trump is telling the people of the EU to not buy from Huawei, or he won't support them in their trade agreements. He'll put tariffs against them. And we don't have anybody to manufacture them. The next closest possibilities are Ericsson and Nokia, and neither one of them are on solid financial ground. So Larry Kudlow has gone to Intel, and you need to be watching Intel and Ericsson stocks relative to 5G. But Larry Kudlow has asked Intel to buy Ericsson and move their manufacturing facilities over here to the United States so we can have a 5G network. We just, as Amy Webb had said in the Big Nine, our government has not given any attention to the technical explosion that's going on around them, except to say to Google and to Facebook and to Amazon, we're going to break you up because you're getting too strong and you're threatening us. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. All you've got to do is look back at what happened when they broke up AT&T. That didn't work out so well. And now, if you break up the big six, if you will, I don't know who's going to run this show because it's certainly not the federal government. The other thing I think is pretty clear is the people who are going to vote to break them up are the House of Representatives and the Senate. And the number one priority of every member of those two bodies of our government, as well as the executive branch, is to get reelected. Well, their vote is available to be bought. and there aren't any richer people than the big six in the world. So I don't think you're going to see a breakup of Facebook or Google or any of the other, or Amazon, any of them. The other thing that I'm going to do an in-depth video on this, is you need to recognize that we are in an economic situation that is dire. And we have companies that are begging for money to stay alive. Now, as some of you have asked me to go find some tech companies that are going to be the next Googles or Amazon's, that's silly, because the reality is that Mark Zuckerberg and his team and Jeff Bezos and his team and the Google team are looking for these people. That's evidenced by the purchases that they've made over the last 30, 60 days. And there will be more purchases in the next 30, 60, 90 days as these companies need money to stay alive. And there are no deeper pockets than the big six. So that's going to happen. And I got a question today. What do I think about American Airlines? Why would I waste my time thinking about American Airlines? Look at all the dead planes that are sitting on the runways that they're trying to just make payments on. They lease those planes, from what I understand, from Boeing, and they can't make their lease payments. What I think of American Airlines is it's going to probably become a part of Delta. That's very simple. And Delta isn't all that strong. And so they're all facing bankruptcy, and they were all in Washington this last week asking for more help. Why would you invest in those people? That's like investing in somebody's house that's on foreclosure. Come on. These people are in foreclosure. So don't get involved in that. Look at companies that are financially strong. If you want to make quick money, look at the American Expresses. Look at the Disneys. Disney will come back. I don't know when. I don't know when they're going to be open in the park, because a lot of you people won't wear your mask. I went into the liquor store this weekend, and there were two guys in there, probably in their 20s, and they're walking around without a mask. I don't care. You're threatening my life. I'm 75 years old. You're threatening my life if you're not wearing the mask. And I wanted to go over and have a few words with them, but I know what would have happened. And it wasn't me against Jay Smith again. I would have gotten my ass kicked on that liquor store. So wear your mask, at least out of respect to me. You might run into me, and I don't want this virus. I really don't. I'm in good health. I don't have any pre-existing conditions, but I don't want this virus. So don't give it to me. Be respectful. If you're a young kid, be respectful of your grandparents, that you don't go and visit them on the 4th of July and have a sniffle and a headache and a scratchy throat, and you give them the virus and kill them. Don't do that, okay? Now, I think this week is going to be exciting. I think it's going to be an opportunity to build your positions in the big six, and I'm now calling it the big six and Tesla, and be ready for those companies to change your life. And then I've been so moved by the people who have written. I had one guy who wrote me and said, yeah, he said, I identified with that person in your head. I've stuttered all of my life. Can you imagine that? The burden that someone's carrying? Can you imagine what his unwanted roommate is saying to him? I mean, he walks into a room and his unwanted roommate is telling him, keep your damn mouth shut. Don't let these people know that you stutter. Don't do that. You'll never get a date. You couldn't carry on a conversation. My God. Let's have an open heart to these people. Let's recognize that everybody we know has issues they need to resolve. And when things don't go the way you want them to go, recognize it's not all about you. It's really not all about you. We all have issues we have to address. But I think the issue at hand is we've got an enormous opportunity to make money in the future. And this virus, I can't call it a gift, but it is a circumstances that has brought the convergence of technology and disruption to a head, and the virus has put the accelerator to the floor. This is going to happen so damn fast. Again, if you haven't seen my video on the smart bathroom, where you sit down on the smart toilet and it analyzes your poop and your pee, and then you get up and you get your smart toothbrush and it analyzes your saliva, and it's all being read by the 5G in your house, and it's all being sent into the cloud, and then you determine which of the 5G that are the big five has access to your data, because you will own your data, and you ask them to analyze your poop, your pee, your saliva, your blood, and tell you if you have a communicable disease, because that is what's going to get you onto an airplane. That's what's going to get you onto a cruise ship. That's what's going to get you into a restaurant. And if you don't believe that's going to happen, and you say, no, that's a violation of my privacy. No, you own your data. If you don't want to get that kind of information, if you want to stay home and you're happy sitting on the sofa, eating your Twinkies, drinking your Coke, and smoking your cigarettes, all the more power to you. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to share my data. I'm going to make it available, and I'm going to own it. And then if I live long enough, my data is going to be compared to everybody else's data. My genome's going to be restructured. My cells are going to be rebuilt, and I'm going to live forever. Yeah. So Monday's a good day. I don't think it's going to be near as exciting, but this week's going to be pretty exciting. Okay, let's do it.